Welcome back to the Sunbelt Social Suite. Now we've got a couple more student athletes from the state of Alabama. A little further south this time, we've got some athlete representatives from the University of South Alabama. We've got senior linebacker Maleki Harris, who averaged 5 tackles per contest last season, as well as junior offensive lineman Chris May, who was in for 931 plays last season, only 2 penalties. Very impressive numbers. So guys, thanks so much for joining us. Of course, this is the Social Suite, so everything we're doing based on social media. So how active are you guys in the social media world?
I try to stay away from it most of the time. I get on there every now and then, check my Instagram, Twitter, but I try to stay away from it.
All right. And what about you, Chris?
I'm about the same with Malik. I enjoy it a little bit, but not get too caught up in it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, you are student athletes, a little busy, a little hectic.
Just a little bit.
All right. Well, of course, this is all about getting questions from the fans. So let's get right into it. Let's go ahead and get the hard-hitting questions. All right. From Carlton Warnberg on the Sunbelt Conference Facebook page. The Jaguars had a lot of close losses last year, most of them by 3 or fewer points. What things have you guys worked on this offseason to turn those close games into wins this season?
Well, Coach Jones has really preached a lot on discipline a lot this year, and I think that really came into play late in games last year, and that really hurt us. And that's something that, like I said, that he's really harped on a lot this summer, that we've really paid attention to, as far as jogging all the way through the weight room and finishing drills and stuff like that. So I feel like that's going to really roll over into this season, and I feel like if we have a chance in one of those tight games, that it's going to fall in our favor instead.
And what about on the defensive side of the ball?
I mean, just to reiterate what he said, discipline and mental toughness is going to be key this year. Really, in the fourth quarter, that's what it comes down to, who can make the least amount of mistakes and who's mentally tough and ready for the game.
All right, another question from AppFlyer on Twitter. What's the challenge when facing new teams like Appalachian State and Georgia Southern this year?
Really just have to watch film. That's about all we can do, since we've never played them. We never really had to experience them yet. But, yeah, just watch film, prepare, and go in there and execute our game plan, and everything else take care of itself.
Anything besides watching film?
Just got to go out and practice, man. I mean, he hit the nail right on the head there. We just got to watch film and just prepare for each opponent the same, So.
Well, next up, we've got a question from Patrick Dunnigan from the Sunbelt Conference Facebook page. What newcomers to the team do you expect to make an immediate impact on the field this season?
I know that we've got a few guys from junior college that are coming in for our defensive line that are going to fill in some spots for us, that should help out a lot. And then we've got some receivers that transferred to us last year as well that'll be eligible this year, that I think that Marvin Schitt will make a big impact for us, as well as we got a new tight end, Braden Bowman, should make some big impacts for us as well.
Any names that stick out on the defensive side of the ball?
At defensive end, Jimmy, he's going to I feel like he's going to be a big contribution. As far as DBs go, we pretty much have the same core we have last year, but we have a lot of freshmen that's going to come in and give us good minutes and make us give them more depth at cornerback and safety. So we're going to be all right.
Always important to have. From Philip Pierce on Facebook, how many wins do you guys consider a successful season?
Well, we're competitors, so I want to win every game.
Absolutely.
That's just. And anything less than that is just a disappointment, I feel like. But we're going to, like I said, we can probably try to win every game, no matter who it is, what the opponent is.
Yeah, you guys said you're preparing the same for everybody. So for you, same question. How many wins does it make a successful season?
Well, honestly, it's a Sunbelt title or bust. And me and Malik were actually talking about that last night. That's what we want, man, and that's our goal. So Sunbelt title or bust.
There you go. You heard it here. All right, one last question from Robbie Robinson on Facebook. Tell us a little bit about the seal fit training that the team did. Now, I'm not sure, so I'm going to learn about this myself, but what was the toughest thing you did? How did it benefit you and your teammates? And did anything happen to a teammate during the training that he's been catching a hard time over?
Well, overall, that training was a really cool experience. It really helped us grow together as a team. When it first started out, everything was completely team-based. When we first started, everybody was just yelling at each other, screaming, and it started off not great, and then as it progressed, we started getting better, and we started really growing together as a team, and that discipline factor really started rolling in a little bit. And I guess for one embarrassing moment, one of my good friends, Drew Dearman, he caught a cramp, and we all had to pick him up, and he was in the air just yelling and screaming, man. But it was a cool experience. It was awesome.
Well, it sounds like it was pretty good. What did you get out of it yourself?
It was like I said, it was a fun time. I feel like the team grew as like the chemistry, as far as offensive players getting to know defensive players, and there's no, it's just offense and just defense. I feel like we're all Jaguars. I feel like we all grew together and got mentally tougher together and were able to trust each other. And, yeah, it was a cool experience.
Always important to have that trust factor on the team. Well, guys, really appreciate you guys coming in. Great to talk with you, Malik, Chris. Best of luck this season. When we come back, we'll have the guy who's in charge of these guys, the guy they report to. We'll have the head coach of the Jaguars, Joey Jones, joining us. We'll be right back here on the Sunbelt Social Suite.